Hello guys. Hey, Scott with Heritage Farms, Texas. Well, here it is, Friday afternoon. What a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. It's like 65 degrees. Took a half a day vacation, came down to the farm. You can see our group of heifers over there. Put in a little grain for them. They're pretty happy. They're getting some food. So what are we doing today? Well, it's been a wet week. It's rained pretty much all week, and you can see we got right at, what is that? 2.5 inches of rain in the pecan orchard. And so needless to say, our fence project has come to a stall. And what do I mean by that? Well, the welder cannot get out to weld because it was too wet. It rained nearly every day this week. So this weekend is kind of plan B. We were hoping to be stringing bob wire, but the corner posts are not welded, so we can't do that. So the next thing I started thinking about was it's time to start feeding hay. I mean, the grass has pretty much stopped growing. I need to put hay out, and I have a bunch of hay rings that are dilapidated, falling apart. They've been repaired before. You can see I came in here once before a couple of years ago, welded, fixed a couple of places, but really thin metal. You look at it, it's just not much to it. So you know, and these guys, if you buy one of these kits, they're like, I don't know, 70 bucks, something like that, to actually put one together. But then you got to weld it together. You can buy them already welded. Now, it's been a couple of years since I bought any, but they were somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, 120 a piece, or maybe 130 a piece. So what do I got? So today I went around and I picked up bits and pieces of broken ones, everything else. Look at this one. This one's like missing half a side. So I got 4 hay rings here that are absolutely in total disarray. So my thought process between the 4 of them is maybe I can salvage 2. Take the parts from all 4, come in here, weld them up, and maybe save 2 of them. I don't know. It's a pretty big undertaking in itself. So this one here doesn't look all that bad, but it needs some work. You know, the first thing that happens is the ring on the bottom definitely rusts out because it's in the muck and the mud. And so what I try to do is every year, as soon as hay feeding season is over, I try to turn them upside down, at least to spread out the part that's in contamination with the ground. But hey, it is what it is, you know. It's a fairly inexpensive hay ring, and honestly, they probably outlived their life. But if you're like me, I'm standing around and I'm looking at this, you know, do I want to spend $300 to replace 2 hay rings, or would I rather spend half a day doing a little welding and cutting as opposed? Well, I think I'm gonna salvage a couple of them. If I can kick the can down the road a couple of more years, that's what it's all about. So I think that's the plan. I'm gonna salvage 2 of these hay rings. More to follow. Hey guys, Scott with Heritage Farms, Texas. Well, it's Sunday afternoon. What am I up to? You'll never guess. No, it's not Halloween. That was yesterday. All right, what are we doing? Well, we've had a good, productive weekend. It's been really nice. The weather has been very cooperative this weekend after having such a terrible, cold, wet, rainy week. We're out here at the pecan orchard, back at the barn, and we have fed everything today. Got the Kubota 850 RTVXG 850 Kubota. So what are we doing? Well, down here on the farm, you have to learn to make do. You know, these hay rings, they have a very short life, and they just rust out. You know, they're in harsh conditions year-round. Cows bump into them. I mean, the metal is just really super thin, and you get a lot of this. I mean, just look how basically the metal splits. You know, it is what it is, right? So here you go. And I apologize for the wind today, guys. It's pretty strong here, but this is what we're trying to do. So this is called piecing it together, rigging it, whatever word you want to use. I mean, I'm not going to get too close and show you my lovely welds, but man, sometimes you can see right down here where it just rusted in half. So we cut a bridge. You know what? Cut a bridge, put it on each side, put you a couple of tack welds on there, and you know what? We might get another year out of it. And for an hour's worth of work, if I can salvage it, you can see right here, just this one broke off like right there. And so we just came in here, made a bridge, put it over, tacked it up and welded it. Down here at the bottom, you can kind of see the same thing. We had one that rusted in half right in here, just cut out the rusted area, made a bridge, welded it, moving on. You know, that's all you can do in these situations is, you know, put you a repair job in there, make a fix, and you know what? We'll be feeding again. At the end of the day, it's just a hay ring. But you know what? Every farm and ranch has a couple of these somewhere on it, and they're all dilapidated and wore out. But you know, if you got a little spare time and you don't mind doing a little welding, hey, that baby's back in action. Now see on the bottom, they normally have 4 rings, 1, 2, 3, and then there's one on the bottom. The one on the bottom is always covered in hay, mud, feces, urine, everything in the world from these cows. So the one on the bottom never makes it. They always rust off, they always come apart, and it just is what it is. But you know what? It really doesn't affect the functionality of it, because now, instead of that, you basically have what, 12 spikes going around this thing that's just gonna stick in the ground. Some people actually, you know, put the bale of hay on the ground, and then they roll this over and put this on top of it. We use the tractor, and what we do is we set the bale of hay over the top, we cut the bottom of the hay wrap, pull it off, and then we dump it and set it in here. So very rarely do we move hay rings once they're in a feeding spot, unless it gets too muddy or something. But that's what we did today. So I took about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and I have basically did some real cheap repairs to make this hay ring last another year. So what were some of the tools we used? Well, everything, you just make do with what you have. Had a C-clamp, pop clamp, actually 2 wood clamps that came in handy just to hold stuff for an extra set of hands. We had a Milwaukee grinder. We had a couple of magnetic magnets to help hold some stuff in place. What else do we have? Here we go. We use the Lincoln arc welder, the Weld Pak 100. It's a little wire fed welder, and they're pretty good. The biggest problem I had was my extension cord wasn't heavy duty enough, and I couldn't get it to run, so I had to back up and go direct into the electricity or circuit breaker in the well house. One thing I do like about this Lincoln Weld Pak 100 welder is the suggested settings for welding inside of the lid. If you don't know, if you're an amateur like me, you can see the thickness of the metal. So here's a piece of metal that we're cutting. You can see it's pretty thin. So you can come up here and hold this metal up here like this. Come over here, find the setting that you like, and you know what? I think it's a C2. You come back around here to the front, put your top one, which is your speed, on 2, set the bottom one on C, and there you go. So you can kind of see C2, that's where we were working. You can look at the thickness. I like it. I like it. You can kind of see just what's going on, but thank you, Lincoln, for putting that easy chart up there and making it very super to work with. All right. Hey guys, hit the subscribe button, leave us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. Love to hear from you. What do you think? Am I cheap? I don't know. Or resourceful? There you go. That's a question. But hey, one thing about it, I'm gonna feed onto this for at least another year. Thanks guys. But hey, once again, I digress. We got by, job well done. We're moving on. So anyway, we salvaged 1 hay ring. Maybe I'll get another 2 years out of it. I don't know. So what do you guys think about these 3 leftovers? Do you think I can get 1 more out of these 3? My thought process is, I don't know if you can see this with the shadows or not, but half of this one's pretty good. my thought is I may come in here and cut it off right there. You can see it's missing over here. Cut it off right there. Maybe take half of one, and like right here behind me, this one is pretty good for 2/3. Maybe cut it off and weld the two together, and voila, get me another one. So that's the plan. Take 4 rusty, old, dilapidated hay rings, piece them together, get 2 that are usable, and the old proverbial saying, kick the can down the road. Hey guys, I hope you have a great day. Here it is. It's basically the 1st of November. It's gonna be like 70 degrees today. The next week is gonna be nice. We had a break from the welding the fence project because you know, it was too wet for the welder to get here, so he's backed up now. But that's okay, because we took this opportunity, as you'll see in another video, to do some land clearing projects on some cedars. We're all about trying to improve this place and make it look beautiful. And you know, I still got another 10 years to work, but one day when I retire, I want to get down here, and I don't want to do all this hard work when I retire. I want to enjoy it, spend my time hunting, fishing, and just taking care of the place. So doing a lot of infrastructure work right now, but unfortunately the grass has pretty much stopped growing, so we're already starting to feed hay. It's a little bit green out there. We're going to be putting out some ryegrass shortly, but you can see in the distance a couple of cows over there eating hay at the moment. So hey, everything's good. What a beautiful day. Glory be to God. Hey, the election's coming up. No matter which way you vote, just vote, man. And hey, people, winners, losers, let's all be civil. This is America. We need to get along and respect each other. It's okay to have different views. Hey guys, have a great one.